Alright guys, we're going to do a tier list here about how well I think every character in Gundam Evolution is designed from a combination of balance and fundamental perspective, not like, visual design, stuff like that. Right, so let's start right off with the support characters. So Metis is actually what I would say probably the best design support, for sure. We're going to toss Metis into finger licking good category. I think Metis does have some issues that doesn't make it perfect, like range on the healing and the fact that it breaks around corners being kind of awkward, but it's putting it like in like mid finger licking good tier, right? And it doesn't get top rank because of those issues, but it's also not lower because it doesn't have like any stuns. It doesn't have anything that really makes it super annoying. It can heal and shoot, but it has moderate values on both of those. So it's a support, but it's not oppressive in really any way. Its ultimate's solid. The character does have a really big hitbox, which is kind of weird, but like mid-low finger looking good. Okay, Jim. Jim, I would love to put Jim really high because Jim is basically like the Brigitte character, fundamental, without all the broken stuff, right? But the problem is Jim can shoot through its shield and use the shield at the same time, which is fundamentally busted. And causes, like Sosby is the same issue, and they cause it so they have like an automatic raw win against characters like Zaku and Pale Rider and Ashimura when they're not in Jim Sniper, when they don't have like an ult to kill them with, right? And it just makes it really awkward, so then that makes it so you have to have hard stuns in the game like Barbatos and RX-78 Gundams stuff, which makes the game all wonky and weird. So, should be up here, but we're putting it down in like Silent Judgment because of that. Like it's a pretty substantial issue. Like it's game changing, Like that issue is down here. Fundamentally, this character's core is up here, so it's in Silent Judgment. Alright, Unicorn Gundam. I hate Overarmor. I think Overarmor's stupid and it fundamentally damages the game. Character's primary fire, the character's ultimate's fine, its passive healing AoE around it is fine. Little boop ability is fine. It's just the Overarmor is really bad for the game. I hate Overarmor. It makes the game unbalanceable in a lot of ways because then it gives Homeboy right here 1100 HP and it gives, which changes kill values, right? Like it makes it so like instead of Sosby getting an easy 2-shot, now it's a 3-shot, and so then now this character is just way stronger because of that. It can stay way longer. It imbalances the game a lot. So, but other than that, it's pretty good. It was like a finger licking good if it didn't have that. So we're gonna put it at Pokemon Gen 5 to be honest. Ashimura I think is really good. Not perfect. Well, let's think about it for a second. Oh, wait, never mind. I almost forgot about the ultimate. We'll put it at low first kiss, but you were nervous and you hit their teeth. Because the primary fire is good, the right click's good, the flight's fine, the ability to fly in there and damage. The napalms is a little bit broken, but it's fundamentally okay. But the punch drops it down. The punch takes it from here to down here. I also want to put it in high Silent Judgment, to be honest. Because that punch, I hate those punches, and we're putting it lower. I hate punches so much. I hate things that stun through your shield, and it's not just stun through your shield, it's an insta-kill. This character and Zaku Melee are the worst about it. They can just look at someone, instantly kill them. Turning Gundam's really bad about it. Melee Zaku's really bad about it. Dom Troopers got issues with it too. Marasai's also really bad about it. It's insta-kill you. It's corn. It's censored corn, right? Because you can't say that in the thing. All right, so Barbatos, fundamentally bad. Fundamentally bad. Has more mobility than things that it is supposed to target, which isn't bad, but then it can break through its shields. So this character always loses to Barbatos if the Barbatos plays correctly. These characters always lose, and then really it has the ability to counteract like the one true main tank of the game, because even Melee Zaku's been butchered a little bit in its values and stuff like that, and made into being away from being a main tank character, to being a sort of like damage dealing acer downer thing. And as a side note, like I always tell people and get strawmanned for, every character is like 2 roles. So this character is like a damage support, damage support, damage tank. All right, stop freaking out about it, guys. If yeah. Maybe I'll make a full video about that later, but whatever. Anyway, but this is just fundamentally bad. It just, like I said, so much mobility. One shots are they're imbalanceable. You can't balance one shots because they either get better at the top rank or get better or low rank, and you can't balance them properly. And so there's always going to be an issue on one side. And the ultimate's broken. The mobility's crazy, but then it can just counteract the one main tank and like fundamentally deny their positioning. It has serious issues with the way ping works. Like you just win when you're on ping because you'll show up and you'll be like on 200 ping. You'll dash onto Sazabi, you'll hit it, and it'll be on the screen like, you know, a full dash distance away and it still gets hit. So take it out of the game. Change it, please. Make it into a tanky character. Take away the one shots. Pale Rider. I think Pale Rider might be the best character in the game. Its ultimate is a little bit too strong, but I think it's pretty good. I think it's pretty fair. The healing, like the ultimate and the healing are a little bit strong, but that's just some damage number stuff. So we're talking more about fundamental design stuff. It's pretty honest. It just pumps out damage. Get the grenade, a little slow grenade. Doesn't really need to have slow grenade, but it does. The ultimate just makes it aim more, hit scan damage. Pretty fair. Pretty good. Solid character for sure. That's what we're putting in Colonel Sanders dating sim quality. Zaku, I'd love to put it in Colonel Sanders dating sim quality, but it gets knocked down to finger looking good because of how crazy the mobility is in the game on it. If you're playing Tracer in Overwatch, you have to like double blink onto someone, or like blink once to get on them, blink once in the fight, blink once to get out, or recall and then blink away. This character can sneak up on the side, dash once, shoot him, dash again, shoot him, dash again, shoot him, and then like by that time you have another dash, you get away. And then the dash will be charged in 2 seconds, and then you can dash all the way around and then come from a full opposite direction. That's kind of crazy. And so then that knocks it down, you know, another level. Like that was the knockdown level, right? And then the ultimate, back to the same sort of issues. The single kill ultimate is stupid. It's not fun. It's not fun for anyone involved. It takes away from the core fundamentals of this game, which is trying to be a game where there's counterplay for everyone and where people aren't dependent on each other and stuff like that. But you just take like Zaku, 1v1 versus Pale Rider, ult's dead. Ults them, they're 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 dead. Them. Every character in the game, and they're dead. Shouldn't be like that. And it's not like you hit a good ultimate, right? It's not like you popped a gold gun tank and then like your ult flew in and then they like you did it from a really good angle and you got somebody, right? Or it's not like you happen to position this super well in the middle of a team fight and get them with it. It's just there's no way to predict it. You can know they have it. Like I can be like, I know this guy has this. He'll dash into me. I have to dash away because I know he has it. He dashes again, he pops it, gives him another cleave charge with it, and it kills me. And it instant reloads. You don't even have to have your ammo in it. So you can just spam all your bullets and then do it again, get another one, and get a free kill every single time. Or multiple. Busted. It's actually insanely good. It's literally like Tracer's Pulse Bomb, which is kind of balanced. But like Tracer's Pulse Bomb is a skill shot, right? And it's already kind of busted against tanks like in Overwatch 1 because you could just toss it onto them and damage a little bit and they'd usually die. And they're really easy targets to hit. But with this thing, you hit anything in the game super easily. Like I've been min-maxing into my videos to try and like get the max range in it and stuff like that, but if you aren't like doing that, it's so easy to hit all the time. All right, moving on. Mahiro. Projectile character. Fundamentals are generally fine. So we should put it like a finger looking good, right? But then it's like 3 shots in the clip. The magazine actually, but I guess it is. Whatever. 3 rounds in the magazine. For a spam character. That's supposed to be like about area denial, stuff like that. And then it's like, okay, the shots only do 300 damage. So we don't even one shot. We can't even full kill one of these 1000 hit point characters. Like that could be buffed, right? And then we have an ability that literally just makes you die. Like that's what's gonna put it at Silent Judgment for me right now. And its ultimate is weirdly weak, to be honest. Could be stronger. Or like, you know, if they nerfed all the other ults, then this ult's fine balanced. And I hope they do nerf all the ults, but so maybe it is well designed. But still, it's like it's not as bad. Well, not as bad as Zaku melee is for different reasons, or Zaku range for different reasons. If it gets its numbers buffed and like either its reload speed increased or like they do something where it starts auto reloading them as it's firing, and you have to wait like a half a second or whatever for it to reload one or something weird like that, or they increase its magazine size or whatever, then nothing getting up towards finger licking good. It wouldn't be amazing, but you know. Gun tank. We're gonna put it at Pokemon Gen 5. We'll put it at a high Pokemon Gen 5. Actually, you know, we'll put it at Silent Judgment because it doesn't have anything there that's so broken that makes you want to put it lower. It's like its own self-destructive pain, right? Like, yeah, it's poorly designed, but the poor design only hurts itself, really. Like, this character only has one strength, which is mainly its ultimate. It can do something a little bit different. Something I'm going to make a video about, which I'm not going to spoil right now. I guess I will a little bit. It has to do with how it interacts with flankers. And it can be pretty good against them. But it fundamentally doesn't have a strength. There's nothing special about it. And this character has long distance spam damage. This character has mobility and like assassination potential, tankiness, flying ability, like cleave damage, standard damage, killing all teammates, one shots, healing. You know, every character has something that they're built around. You can play into that strength. This character doesn't have that. Doesn't. I know people say like, oh, play range and spam people and then like do your little dash into people like 3 times. Doesn't change that. Doesn't. Like, I played this character a decent amount now. I'm learning all the little text on it. Doesn't make the character fundamentally change. Gym Sniper, lowest category, same thing with the one-shots. One-shot character, we don't like those. We don't like ranged click on head. We don't like the ability to get a free res on things at range. What is that? Right, where you don't even have to like, you're not even like locked down, you get to still turn around and kill people. It's busted. The hitboxes are massive. Things don't move around very quick like in Overwatch. Bullet size is big, but just the ability to click on something's head is fundamentally broken. Shouldn't be in hero shooter. They put it in because people like clicking on things, but it shouldn't be in the game. It just shouldn't. They should have taken like Ashimar and given it more range, and then made this like that's kind of thing like Ash in Overwatch that doesn't one shot but has a longer range. And it's kind of like that sniper like mentality is what a sniper should be in a hero shooter. That you should not have a one-shot character. Like I said, it's a necessary evil. It feels like a lot of times because they keep putting it in because it's like, wow, yeah, crazy cool Widowmaker plays, crazy cool Gym Sniper plays, but it's busted. Fundamentally, you can't balance it. You basically just have to nerf it like a lot until it can be dealt with like flankers and stuff like that. It's still busted and will still be hard meta on certain maps, but yeah, and then at lower ranks it'll be just trash tier. Anyway, RX-78. Tanky, like, you know, semi-tanky enforcer with solid damage. Good. Ability to throw a hyper hammer into somebody's face and deny them all existence with a massive hitbox. Ability to just hard counter tank. Not good. It's a really bad issue. Like, I know people probably look at this and they're just like, oh, Dunmere, you're just a tank player, bro. You're just complaining you're white. No. Even if I wasn't a tank player, I would understand this. Like, these guys, no matter what kind of standard you want to put on tanks, and I'm not saying like they need to have big shields, they need to be like whatever Overwatch type tanks, because in Overwatch there are plenty of tanks that don't even have shields. So stop saying that crap. It's about taking space and holding space and threatening things. You can't do that on Sosby if there's an RX-78 Gundam that's focusing you at all. Just can't. Fundamentally denies you. Now, it doesn't one-shot, so it's not as bad as Barbatos, but it's still really bad. It's a fundamental issue. If you took away its hyper hammer and maybe gave it like a, I don't know, like a close range beam blade slash that like did a little bit of damage, like cleaving damage or something like that, so it could still like do a little bit against tanks and stuff like that, I'd be fine with it. It would be way higher, be at the top, to be honest, but that is such a substantial issue. Exia. Exia is the way Exia is just because of the numbers. And I told you guys I wasn't going to try and like... I told you I wasn't going to try and make my decisions off of number balances and stuff like that, but like I kind of am and I kind of not. You can't take a character and say, okay, here's all the mobility in the game, more mobility than every other character in the game, which is kind of what broke Overwatch at the very beginning, the mobility being such a massive threat to supports, and there not being a support that could survive that, like Kiriko or Moira. And really Moira, but Moira should be changed a little bit anyway. But anyway, so the most mobility in the game, crazy busted. And then we have the ability to like good, solid one-shot potential, which isn't as bad. The one-shot is not as bad. Like it's much more balanced. It's like, oh, you get out of position against like he catches a Metis out, he can potentially kill it. But it's not like Barbatos just walks around and slams your Sazbi into the ground and kills him. But the ability to cleave through shields is insane. Jim is way lower on a quality of character, like value-wise, like how good it is because of Exia existing alone. It has way more mobility and it can chase down and it can beat the support that's supposed to be able to defend itself from this character. A Jim is supposed to pair up with a Metis, and the Jim is supposed to be able to protect the Metis from a character like Exia if they play well. You know what I mean? Like it's supposed to be an even matchup, but you lose the matchup against Exia, especially when it has its ult. Its ultimate is insanely busted. It does turn into a one-shot character against all 800 HP characters, and it's just insane. Insane mobility. Now it has 7 dashes. I don't know to tell you guys, it's insane. It also has a displacement ability on its spin and slash, which is obscene. So not only do we cleave through shields and have the most mobility in the game, but we also have a displacement ability. So you can like dash into a Sazbi and push it off a high ground. You know? You could dash against whatever character, push them off a high ground, and they can't get back up, potentially. Sazbi can, of course, but again, they could just stand up there and then just knock you back down, right? And not to mention, it has the best ranged poke in the game other than Jib Sniper, which is insane. Like, this character has no fall off, and each one of its little daggers does 130 damage, 260 to the, or 115, and 230 to the head. So you can do 690 damage from range. You can literally like kind of tool a Jim Sniper. Like, what? Like across the map. It's insane. Or like all the other hit scan characters, they have like heavy fall offs. Like at the same exact range. And it's like this, like you go from here, this is full damage, and then right here, from this to this is half damage. It immediately goes to half damage, and then it's half damage forever. And they're all at the same range. Really weird. But anyway, this character is stupid. But it's not a fundamentally one-shot character. So if they like nerf its mobility, or like nerf its mobility a little bit, remove its ability to move its ability to push people around with spin and slash, move its ability to stun through shields, and balanced. At that point, I'd kind of be okay with the damage. Renee Gundam, from a fundamental perspective, is pretty good, to be honest. Like, I think this character is pretty well structured. It is supposed to be like a mid-range sniper counter dive character. It's supposed to stand out in the back here and go pew, 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 pew. And then when Homeboy dives on it, it's supposed to be able to peel itself with its grab ability, right? And its health ability. It's pretty okay. The fact that it can grab through shields is kind of an issue. The same issue these other guys have, but it's not the same because it's not a guaranteed one-shot, and also because it's a lot easier to dodge. Like a turning Gundam can't just dash around a corner and do that to you as well as Barbatos can and RX-78 Gundam can. But its damage just doesn't make sense. It has less than 500 damage with a headshot with its full charge, which is supposed to be like it's basically supposed to be Hanzo, and it can't even two-shot to the head. You know, because Hanzo has a self-peel ability too, which is being able to dash and climb. Right, being able to jump, like do a little leap and then climb up things to escape, and buy extra time for his team to help him. So that knocks it down, right? But then we have the ultimate being the most busted one in the whole game, and that's putting us down at Silent Judgment. Like, this character is fixable. It's just like, just stupid, man. It's just silly. Like, you just see a single enemy, you jump on top of them, you press your Q, and they're dead. Like you can insta kill anything, and then if you do it against a group like on Harbor, they're all going to die. Like they're all going to die, man. There's nothing you can do about it. Not even Sazabi can tank the damage. It cleaves through anything. There's no way to hide from this demon. You have to kill it. It's stupid. It's ridiculous. But they took away all its power from its regular kit and then gave it into its ultimate. Doesn't make any sense. All right, now to the tanky DPS characters. Sazabi is in the same position as Metis or Sazabi, the same position as Jim. It's supposed to be really good. It's supposed to be like a mobile main tank that holds corners, brawls things that get close to it, dives onto things, and that sort of stuff, right? No oppressive shields to deal with, nothing like that. Good character. But the whole, like, has to teleport or has to dash to a teammate or tomahawk, that knocks it down like 1.5 ranks. So that is just dumb and it's not fun. It's not enjoyable. Especially when it doesn't let you control it like at all. It's like a very set dash distance and stuff like that. And then the biggest issue is the ability to be stunned through, actually really, the ability is to shoot through shields, and that's what knocks it down here. This guy being, like, mainly Sazabi, being able to shoot through shields makes it a counter to Pale Rider, Metis, Ashimar, Saku, Ferne Gundam, Mahiro, Gun Tank, Unicorn, Gym Sniper, when they don't have their ultimates available, which they do, right? And so basically, like, I'm going to do a full video about this because it's a really important thing to talk about. Every character has like 4 categories that they can be empowered in. They have like healing capability, damage dealing capability, mobility, and then your own tankiness, right? You can only be strong in like 2 of these categories or else you get really busted. And so obviously for anything that's not a support, they get rid of the healing. So no healing, right? Fine. But Sazabi has mobility and damage. But then they're like, okay, make his shield weak, make it not have a lot of HP, make him not have that much HP in comparison to his team, and make it so that they can be sent through shields. And I guess the tankiness is like HP too, right? HP and like tanky capabilities. Because if they were giving him mobility, damage, and tanky capabilities, then busted character, super busted character. Like imagine if he full shielded himself all around him and he had like 3,000 HP on his shield. That'd be insane. And couldn't be stunned through shields. It'd be crazy, right? But the fact that he doesn't have that tankiness makes him have the hitbox of a tank, the responsibilities of a main tank, but not the capability to do that. You're just a weird version of Barbatos, a weird version of Exia, a weird version of yeah, like these guys basically. It's why you can basically play them. Like I would literally consider trading any of these people for, maybe not Exia more flanker, but I would trade a Barbatos or a RX-70 Gundam for a Sazabi and a team comp at this point, honestly. And so that's why it's getting, honestly, like, I'm gonna put it in low silent judgment, to be honest, because I think it's really the fundamental issue. It is one of the biggest issues to this game. Like the balance of the characters is one of the biggest issues. The biggest issues is this whole shield issue, shooting through shields, making the stuns have to exist, which is not fun against the non-stun characters. And then ults being too powerful. And then certain characters individually being like just way too strong. So anyway, moving on. Melee Zaku. Melee Zaku has a really, really cool fundamental design. You are a shieldless main tanking character that's supposed to hold corners, bully enemies as they walk through choke points, build rage, play really like frenetically, like that sort of stuff, dash around, hold corners, use your melee, use your like cleaving damage, right? Bash anything that gets too close to you. But then you're looking at the fact that like, okay, his damage is really weak when he's not in rage. And his abilities are really low in range. So like if you're playing against like a good team, they'll just hard focus it and they'll be dead. You can play it as like a main tank character. but then it's like, okay, well now it gets its rage, and instead of it just being like empowered, it becomes broken. Not because it raises the damage so much and gives it extra armor, but mainly because of the way that it accompanies that with the mobility. Because you're looking at this character. This character is like a wet paper cloth until it gets its rage ability. And then it gets its rage ability, and then it is like a demon, right? Because then we're going back to the stuff. It has the tankiness with the extra armor, and the tankiness of having like its headbox move. Whenever it swings, it's like its full body's moving. Like it's swinging and it's going over like here, right? And then it's swinging again and it's doing this like constantly. And that makes it really hard to hit. And so it has a small hitbox. So like if you're playing against a Sosby, like you'll hit a point blank shot onto it and it'll only take like 350 damage. It's really weird. And so then with the 2 dashes, it has a mobility. So it has a tankiness, mobility, and damage. So it has 3 of these broken categories. And that's why people hate playing against it. And its ultimate is accompanied with that, with being insanely busted, right? The reason it needs to be changed is it needs to be given more primary fire damage. Like that needs to be standardized out. It shouldn't have to hit from close range for it to deal about probably 200 damage or so. And then it needs to be taken away one of its dashes. Its hitbox needs to be stabilized, made a little bit bigger probably, and like made to be central essentially. Like you shouldn't have your head jerking around so much. It does change things massively. And so then when he gets that rage ability, he can push onto like a corner and hold it pretty hard, you know? But he can't chase down a Sazvi or a Jim or like anything in the game. Like anything that is equal dashes to it, it'll chase down and kill them. You know? Like Exia, Barbatos, Zaku range can escape from it. But like anything that's equal, or like especially these shield characters, have no way to save itself. And when it ults, it kills anything in the game it wants to. So all that together is knocking it down to like Silent Judgment, because it's fixable too. It's just a pain. Stormtrooper's design is fundamentally pretty decent. Kind of. If its armor gun gave some sort of like damage resistance or something like that, or like a Zarya bubble type thing, it would be perfect basically. Kind of. Its ult knocks it down, but that knocks it down a range that it gives over armor, which is fundamentally broken, as we talked about. They nerfed it down, so it's a lot better, but it does give over armor still, which is just unbalanceable. Stop doing it. We don't need over armor. There's ways to make it different. Like, there's just ways to fix it. Make it like do healing. Make it give like a non-HP changing protection bubble that does the same fundamental thing. But makes the game, but lets you like, you know, like Zarya's bubbles, they expire, right? The over armor takes forever to expire, and it just doesn't do the same thing. Especially if it got a buff from like people shooting the bubble or whatever, like Zarya does. That's like one of the best designed Overwatch characters. That fundamentally, like the original version of Zarya was the best. But anyway, so then it gets knocked down to that level because of, or that's the level it gets knocked down because of the over armor, and then its ultimate is really busted. To be honest, it becomes unkillable. It can smash through a bunch of people. There's a funny little trick you can do against it, which is funny, but if you jump and let it hit you, it knocks you in the air and you can fly. But close range, like knocking around people in a room and stuff like that, is just busted. There's nothing you can do about it. It's not fun. Super powerful. Not as strong as some of these other ones, so we're going to put it in like first kiss, but you were nervous and hit their teeth. Alright, Marasai. Marasai, not going to be at the top ever because it's a hook character. And Marasai is frustrating in the same way that these are frustrating, but it's not as broken because it's not a true one shot, it's a combo. And it can't stun through shields. But we're getting like hook character. Hook character that's hook allows it to one shot. It shouldn't be in the game. I know people like playing those characters, but they hate playing against them. Everyone hates playing against hook characters. It feels like you're getting one shot and you're getting yoink from nowhere to like some random hook that hits you. You know? So they hate that. And then the ultimate knocks it down another rank. Just says pop the ultimate, kill whatever you want. Like, this character is also fixable if you were to make it, but you'd have to do some changes. Like, the thing is, Marasai is probably going to be one of those characters that gets nerfed because people don't like playing against it. You know? It already does need some nerfs in regards to like how long it stuns things for, but it's going to get some nerfs and it's going to be really bad. And people will be frustrated because they paid money for it, you know? What they need to do is they need to like, because it has like a tanky qualities of being able to like control a whole area around it with this hook. Again, tankiness is not about shields. That's a possibility, but that's not it. So instead, stop strawmanning me. People do that. Say things I'm not saying. And then we have Marasai, right? So Marasai has that capability to like kill anything that gets around in a circle. And so it one-shots those. So it has a tanky capability, but it doesn't have the HP for that. And so they buffed its mobility. So now it has like tanky capability, and it has solid damage, and it has mobility. And that's why it's like kind of fundamentally broken. You need to take away the mobility, give it one dash, reduce the hook range. So instead of the hook range needs to be reduced by probably like at least 30%. And then give it some more tankiness. And reduce the stun duration so that like you pull someone in, but they like are basically running immediately kind of thing. I think that would be balanced. And you get like armor, or you get like damage reduction. Because putting over armor in like a tank isn't that big of a deal. Especially if it gets itself the over armor isn't that big of a deal, because it's not like applying it to like flankers and stuff like that. So there you go, guys. Like long story short, there's a lot of fundamental misunderstandings about the characters. Like if I had done this about Overwatch 1, when the game first came out, there were definitely characters that were in this low category, but like Soldier 76, Tracer, Winston, Cassidy or McCree at the time would all be up here. Diva would have been a little bit lower, right? Genji would have been high. Zenyatta would have been high. Mercy would have been high. Lucy would have been high. You know, because they don't have these fundamental issues as some of these other things do. But yeah, guys. So hope you liked the video. If you're looking for some more Gundam Evolution videos, then make sure to check out my mobile suit guides. I made one for all original to 14 mobile suits, and I did a Should You Main Guide series also, covering the same mobile suits and talking about whether you should actually main them in Gundam Evolution or not.